Welcome to Perceptive Healing's podcast, where self-discovery meets the path to healing and fulfilling your dharmic purpose. My name is Brenda Green, and I'm a wellness mentor since 2020, and I'm honored to guide my own community since 2023. Together, we can explore subtle energy, self-care habits, and primal practices that empower you to live with greater clarity and purpose. Hi, this is Brenda Green with Perceptive Healing's podcast. And today I am sharing a story that I call my backpack story. And this took place because of an awareness from this morning, November 18th, 2024. I traveled to Alta back at the end of September of this year to meet with the group of healers that I've been in this community with Kate Stillman for 6 years. And on the very first day of this retreat, the in-person experience that she does, I had traveled. Our first day was to hike in the Teton Mountains, which is near her home. And I had a backpack that wasn't really designed for hiking. It was more for a laptop, and I crammed everything I could possibly cram in that thing, and it was very heavy. When I traveled up that mountain, hiking with a friend that I know very well, we were all kind of in different groups based on our ability with the hiking, and I was out of shape at the time, so I was in a little further back in one of the groups there. So being out of shape, I could feel every muscle in my body the further I walked up that mountain. But taking it in, how beautiful it was, the temperature was perfect. It was just we were having quiet time. The intention was to be quiet and not talk during this walk for a period of time until we got to the point where it was a time to journal. And we did do the journaling work, and we were taking in the views, and then we hiked about as far as I could hike, and we made it to the water, the mountain, the water coming from the mountain. So we were able to set our heavy backpacks down and put on swimsuits and river shoes and go out and cold plunge. And this was my first real experience with actually plunging in cold water. I've done it at home here and there. It hasn't been a strong point for me. It's been my resistance point, doing the cold therapy. With my friend's encouragement, I also had her recorded on my phone, the video, and I went into the water, and I did just last like about a minute. There was no denying that because it was on the camera, on the video. So after that experience, I felt really accomplished that I did that I accomplished that. And after that, a lot of the other group came to the waters, and they were also dipping in the cold water. And I just used the time as an awareness, just awareness of the wonderful women that I've come to know over the years in the community. Some much longer, some, are newer to the group. I had a lot of time. I've had, since that time, different things that have occurred and different awarenesses that have shown up. I know when I came back from there, I felt complete. I felt like I completed what I needed to in that community. And I have already started my own. I've been in my own community for a full year, going on into the second year now. So I felt like that completed my path to that level for that community. And that was a wonderful thing. That was a success for me. But it took till today, November 18th, when I was listening to an actual tarot reading on YouTube. And at the very beginning, the two cards she pulled, surrender worry, and the second card was surrender your limiting beliefs. And in that one of the cards, it showed the backpack, and she mentioned the backpack and the heavy load of the backpack and that heavy weight like burdens, so you just need to release it. So sometimes you need to take the whole thing off. If that's the case, so be it, is what she had said. And all of a sudden I connected that statement that she made to my experience in Alta, Wyoming, and it became my backpack story. So I recorded what I thought of when that first hit me. That backpack, because it was so heavy, I felt every muscle in my body, and I mean, it did have the journal in it. So when we did the quiet walk and then did the journaling work, that was a good reflection time. But it just felt symbolic because when I was by the water and actually set the backpack down, it was like releasing the burdens, releasing that weight, the things that I no longer need to carry. And this wasn't for just this lifetime. This is many lifetimes of carrying many burdens, many of which were not my own to carry. And also my own. It was both. And I just feel today how much that has deepened the peace. I gained peace when I went on that trip, a deep eternal peace that I've never experienced in this lifetime. And I know today now that connection with the backpack, of unburdening myself, of working through emotions, of working through life experiences, vulnerabilities, traumas, any of those things that we all experience in life. That backpack got me thinking about, what do I really need? So when you think about how much a backpack actually represents you in your life, how much you carry, how much you release, how much you are able to just take what you need and leave the rest behind so that you can focus, so that you're not burdened, so that you can do the work you need to do and think of what you need to think of to produce the work that's on your dharmic purpose. How is this something that would be an effective tool for somebody? If you put yourself in that same position, if you were going on a little hike, what would you put in the backpack? Would that backpack be a particular design? Would it be the right one for that type of hike? Would it be too heavy? Do you have enough water? Do you have a journal? And just thinking about, as you're processing your emotions. And for me on that day, there was guilt even just for going on the trip. And I was able to release that the following day. So this internal peace settled in. And I feel today that it has allowed me to release the old patterns of carrying those burdens, which also opens me to a deeper level of abundance that I couldn't open to before. And you notice when you're hiking your surroundings, if something is burdening you or causing you discomfort, it's taking from your experience. And when you apply that same theory to your life, what burdens are taking from your experience? What's slowing you down? What's holding you back? What would you do differently? What would you recognize from an experience of taking your own backpack and hiking through a place near where you live? Would it bring you a level of peace that you haven't had before? Will it present? I feel like the concept is there's always something symbolic that shows up when we go on a intentional hike where we're doing reflection work. And that symbol you may be aware of at the time, but you may not connect with it until sometime past that day that you hiked. But you're giving yourself the space and time to receive that message and to become aware of it. And that way you're completing your cycle of depth work into growth path, and you're up into the next level of your future self. And that 80-20% gain becomes much clearer. So now you know the 80% that you need to let go of, so that the 20% you can amplify that and that becomes your focus, and it makes it much easier to get rid of the things you don't need, and it frees up the time in yourself and the time in others, and you're able to impact people more at a much higher vibration, a much higher level. And I feel this is the backpack story. This is the story of that experience, is that peace becomes a much deeper level of peace that is able to maintain itself. And that's just my experience. For someone else, it could be something entirely different. But whatever it is, think of the questions that help you explore that process and help you explore in self-discovery what's next for you. What can you focus on now? What can you clear out? What burdens you, and release that? The more we can process our emotions and feelings in real time, the faster we're able to experience our true selves and honor our true selves in a new light. And that's important so that we can express our creative side and express and share what's going to guide other people. And that's my passion, is guiding other people. It's taken me a long time to really understand my story, my own story, and be able to share that. And that's what this trip has given me, is that opportunity to have a story that's also a tool for others to express and to reflect on and experience in their own light, in their own way. What is your backpack story? And how will that open you to your own abundance? How will that unblock anything that's prevented you from succeeding in different parts of your life? And just think about those things. Thank you for listening today. My challenge for you this week is to create your own backpack story and to contemplate, after you have this experience, on certain questions and reflect on those. What emotions surface when you carry your backpack? And just reflecting on any sensations you have, the thoughts or feelings that arise, and try to stay in a silent, without talking to others, just silence as you do your walk. And if you are unable to walk or hike, you can do this with your imagination, just visually seeing yourself. What would you pack? And you could pack it in your house and still have a similar experience. So when you think about what emotions surface when you carry your backpack, reflect on the sensations, thoughts, or feelings that arise. Are they tied to any particular memories or experiences? And just noticing the weight of the backpack. Does it symbolize something for you? Are you noticing anything else around you that is becoming a symbol for you? But consider what it represents. Is it responsibilities, expectations, fears, old stories you've carried too long? What items would you imagine are inside your backpack, whether it's real or symbolic? Visualize the contents. What do they signify in your life? Are they burdens? Are they tools? Or are they lessons? How do you feel as you walk with this weight? Does the act of carrying and moving the load create a sense of struggle, resilience, or awareness? What patterns or beliefs come to mind as you reflect on your backpack? Identify recurring themes or narratives in your life that may no longer serve you. What moment or thought stands out during your walk? Did something unexpected come to your awareness? How might this moment symbolize a breakthrough or a deeper truth? What would it mean to set the backpack down? Explore the sense of surrender. How does releasing the weight align with your vision of freedom or self-discovery? What aspects of yourself feel lighter when you imagine releasing the burden? And just contemplate how shedding limiting beliefs or old patterns might open space for you to experience your true self. What does the act of walking in quiet reveal to you about your inner dialogue? And just pay attention to the tone of your thoughts. Are they kind? Are they judgmental? Or are you using your curiosity? What symbol emerged during your walk, and what does it mean to you? Reflect on its significance. How does it connect to a belief, a pattern, a past experience that may have held you back? How might carrying this weight have shaped your dharmic path until now? Consider how these burdens influenced your decisions, your relationships, and aligned with your purpose. What new intentions can you set for yourself as you imagine your backpack emptied? Envision living with greater alignment to your passion and purpose. What practices or mindset can support this? And as you reflect on this experience, any other questions or thoughts that are much more specific to your personal experience, to your life, that you may write those out and see what you experience and what you become aware of. So that may shift you from that depth path to your own personal growth path, and in the new light of feeling things that are peaceful or healed or released, and just allowing that more expansive space within yourself, and let that be your backpacked story. Thank you for joining me on Perceptive Healing's podcast. This is your moment to pause, reflect, and start a meaningful conversation about what truly supports your well-being. I invite you to connect with me for a 45-minute wellness goals conversation where we'll explore your aspirations and your intentions. Together, we'll uncover what's shaping your current experiences and create a path for you to thrive with ease and purpose. You may visit perceptivehealings.com to schedule your session and receive the Perceptive Wellness Club Guide, a thoughtful resource to help you prepare for our time together. Let's take the next step toward a life that truly supports your unique journey.